Wind gusts topping 75 miles per hour combined with rapid spin mesovortices are threading straight into the Chicago metropolitan area, putting millions across northern Illinois and northwest Indiana on high alert today. The wind isn't the only threat, the water is. Here is what to do in the next 48 hours. Atmospheric moisture originating from the Gulf of Mexico is charging north, creating an unstable corridor where severe convective storms can explode with minimal warning. Here is exactly what is driving this atmospheric collision and the two moves that actually matter right now. Severe weather setups across the Midwest reach their climatological peak during the summer months when intense surface heat and atmospheric moisture maximize. When high convective available potential energy, known as CAPE, interacts with strong vertical wind shear, routine summer showers quickly transform into organized supercells and destructive squall lines. To understand the mechanics behind these severe outbreaks in northern Illinois, we have to look closely at the low-level jet stream. This fast-moving layer of air in the lower atmosphere acts as a high-capacity moisture transport pipeline, pushing warm, buoyant Gulf of Mexico air northward into the Midwest, ahead of an approaching cold front or shortwave atmospheric trough. As this warm, humid air surges into the region, atmospheric instability surges alongside it. When high CAPE levels are present, thunderstorm updrafts accelerate rapidly into the upper atmosphere. However, instability alone only creates isolated pop-up storms. Severe convective organization requires vertical wind shear, a significant change in wind speed and direction between the ground level and upper atmospheric levels. When strong wind shear is present, it forces thunderstorm updrafts to tilt and spin rather than collapsing under their own weight. According to forecasters at the National Weather Service, this wind shear balance allows individual storms to merge into quasi-linear convective systems, or QLCS squall lines. These linear storm complexes push forward with impressive speed, driven by a powerful rear inflow jet of cool air that slams down to the ground. Straight-line wind gusts within these systems routinely exceed 60 to 75 miles per hour, generating wind force equivalent to EF0 or EF1 tornadoes. Mid-roll. Across urban and suburban communities in Cook, DuPage, Lake, and Will counties, these straight-line winds consistently collapse mature tree canopies, destroy power lines, and create prolonged grid failures. While atmospheric conditions aloft set the stage, microscale interactions along the ground determine where the most severe damage occurs. The physical proximity of Lake Michigan introduces a complex marine environment into the Chicago metropolitan area. Cool air resting over the open waters of Lake Michigan often acts as a localized stabilizer directly along the immediate shoreline. However, further inland, the advancing lake breeze front creates a powerful localized boundary. When advancing thunderstorm gust fronts collide with this stationary or slowly moving lake breeze boundary just west and south of downtown Chicago, low-level atmospheric convergence skyrockets. The collision forces air rapidly upward while enhancing localized atmospheric rotation. Meteorologists from NOAA and NWS Chicago note that this microscale boundary interaction frequently triggers rapid spin-up mesovortices along the leading edge of QLCS squall lines. The real-world severity of this phenomenon was clearly demonstrated during the July 15, 2024, northern Illinois tornado outbreak. During that event, official post-storm surveys conducted by NWS Chicago confirmed over 30 tornadoes embedded within a fast-moving linear storm system. Many of these tornadoes developed in minutes as the squall line crossed county lines and interacted with local boundary currents, proving that linear systems can be just as prolific tornado producers as isolated supercells. In addition to wind hazards, these summer convective setups carry extremely high precipitable water, or PWAT, values. Atmospheric profiles reveal moisture levels far above average, allowing storms to drop multiple inches of rain within very short windows. In concrete-dominated urban corridors, high rainfall accumulation rates quickly overwhelm municipal drainage networks, turning low-lying underpasses and arterial streets into hazardous standing water zones. Additionally, severe weather conditions across the Chicago airspace regularly lead to extensive ground stops and flight delays at both O'Hare International Airport and Midway International Airport. A common misconception across the Midwest is that linear squall lines pose only a straight-line wind threat compared to classic isolated supercell tornadoes. In reality, QLCS mesovortices develop within minutes on the leading edge of high wind fronts, giving radar systems very little time to issue advance warnings. A seasonal forecast indicating below normal overall tornado activity never equals zero localized risk. When a dense lake breeze boundary interacts with high moisture air, microscale rotation can trigger sudden tornado damage across dense urban corridors without traditional warning signatures. This dynamic interaction is why radar interpretation in Chicago requires constant vigilance during summer convective events. Mid-roll, recognizing the dual threat of straight-line winds and embedded spin-up tornadoes is critical for residents across the Chicago area. Because straight-line wind gusts from squall lines frequently hit 75 miles per hour, structural damage to roofs, siding, and outbuildings can match the impact of a weak tornado. When mature trees are uprooted, utility lines are torn down across major corridors, leading to power outages that can persist for days depending on repair crew access. Official guidance from Ready.gov and the National Weather Service emphasizes having redundant alert mechanisms in place, such as NOAA weather radio and active wireless emergency alerts on mobile devices. Relying on a single warning channel or visual cues outside is dangerous, as squall lines often wrap tornadoes in heavy rain, hiding them from view until impact. Here is your targeted two-step game plan for this severe Chicago weather setup. First, the moment a severe thunderstorm warning with a destructive wind tag or a tornado warning is issued for your area, take shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building in an interior room. Put as many walls between yourself and the exterior as possible, staying far away from windows, as sudden straight-line gusts and embedded mesovortices can shatter glass and launch heavy debris into living spaces. If you live in an older home, move valuables and important documents to high ground or a central closet now. Second, never attempt to drive through flooded underpasses or concrete drainage corridors across the metropolitan area during heavy rainfall bursts. P-watt values in these summer air masses produce rapid urban flash flooding that can quickly submerge vehicles beneath Chicago's low-clearance viaducts before depth can be accurately judged. If the road is flooded, turn around. What weather conditions are you seeing right now in your neighborhood? Share your local observations in the comments below. I'm Ray with Red Sky Report. Stay dry, stay ready.